Hello people, it's been a while hasn't it? I'm back, at least for now. Today I'll be making this video I had thought of doing a few months ago on why the Mogeko games suck. I'm sure they're irrelevant and forgotten by now, but I don't care. There probably aren't any other rants on these shitty games out there, so I'll be the first one to do it. For those who don't know, and I envy you for that, the Mogeko games are a series of 3 RPG Maker games made by some dumbass in Japan. They are Mogeko Castle, The Grey Garden, and Wade no Hara and the Great Blue Sea. While I'm not very familiar with the first and third games, I certainly am with the second one, but it's not like the other two are any better. I used to be a big fan of The Grey Garden back in 2016 and 2017 when I was a dumb kid and didn't realize it had anime art style, and that's a good place to start. The art style of these games is not only anime art style, which is disgusting on its own, but it is bad in a special way. I think people call this type of art style chibi, and I hate it. It looks like gacha for fuck's sake. It looks so bad and cringy that I couldn't even download a picture of either of those games to use in this video. That's why I chose some random picture for the background. But now let's talk about each of these games individually, starting with Mogeko Castle. The story is so bad that it makes Undertale look like a masterpiece in comparison. It follows the story of this schoolgirl whose name I couldn't give less of a shit about. She's on a train going back home from school and suddenly she's teleported to an alternate world where these creatures called Mogeko want to rape her and eat her flesh. That's it. That's the story. Typical for Japanese stories, am I right? The rest of the game is just her trying to get back home and fleeing from the Mogekos in their castle. There are no battles in the game, so it's just a survival game pretty much, and a very shit one at that. The main villain is a furry bitch named Mogeko because of course it is, and when you die in the game over screen says it's an ending. Like holy fuck, this is so stupid. Who thought it was a good idea to call the game over a bad ending? This is pretty much all I have to say for this one. It's probably the worst one, though it is the most popular one of the trilogy. Next we have The Grey Garden, and this one is going to be longer, so brace yourselves. I heard of this game in 2016 when my cousin told me about it and thought it was amazing, so I watched videos about it and loved it. Later in 2017 I recorded an entire Let's Play series of the game, but now looking back I really was retarded when I was young. This game is about demons and angels living in harmony, and the main character is a demon girl called Yosafire who lives in this town with her friends. One is called Frozen, is an angel who doesn't care about anything and is always bored. The other is an angel called Macarona who is always afraid of everything, and the other is a demon called Robbery who is always either hungry or sleeping. That's their personalities, and I thought Undertale had one-dimensional cardboard cutout characters, and every other character in the game is just as one-dimensional and unlikable as these ones. The main bad guy, a demon called Evilus, is only evil because he is. His goal is to get more power by killing the other devil named Kelb. I'm not joking. He explicitly states he has no reason other than wanting more power. The creator did later invent a backstory for him, but it was dumb and not mentioned in the game, and not to mention it was a rip-off of the Paul and Katui lore from the Paulo Gamer cinematic universe. The other villains also suck. There's one called Pomi who is just a woman-child, one called Emaf who is a dumb guy who falls in love with the main character because of course he does, and in the end the bad guys are killed and everyone lives happily ever after. And when it comes to gameplay, it's absolutely dreadful. The combat system is extremely basic and easy. It's almost impossible to die in the game. I'm not joking. When I first played this game, I only died once, and that was because I took the wrong turn during a chase sequence. Even the final boss is painfully easy. You don't even need good equipment to defeat enemies. Merely attacking the enemy multiple times is enough. It's even easier than the anti-Undertale game I made in 2017, but that was my first game, while this one is clearly done by a more professional person. Another thing is that the amount of dialogue in the game is excruciating. I know RPG games usually have a lot of dialogue, but this one has far too much, to the point it's more like a visual novel than an actual RPG game. And finally we have Wade no Hara and the Great Blue Sea, but I'll be honest with you, I know barely nothing about this game, but what I do know is that it's essentially the same thing as The Grey Garden but with witches instead of demons and angels, and it's set in the sea, so all I can think of is the UDR song called Okais. This is certainly an obscure reference, but I don't care, and from what I've seen, the characters are not only similar to the ones from the Grey Garden when it comes to appearance, but they also have the same personalities, so you can't tell me this isn't just a copy and paste of the previous game. There are apparently some other games in development by the same creator, but they have been in development hell for 1,000,000,000,000 years. Hopefully they'll get cancelled. So that's all I have to say for today. In short, these games suck and you shouldn't play them. Now let's hope I don't take another 3 months to upload another video. Goodbye.